berm's really high right there. Little bit of banking up here. Flattens off right on the top. Should even out though throughout the week. Got a good sized berm down there. Ride that a little bit, hopefully not too much. Got the Flow Racing booth there without its banners yet, but that's what that will be. Walls still need their banners. Other than that though, track's pretty set up. Walking out of turn 4 right now, coming to the straightaway. Flag stand will be right about there. A little muddy here. Got the blue tractor, we've been going around working in the berm. It was about 5 feet tall, now it's just like 2. Try and get out of the mud a little bit. Unlike most racetracks, flag stand's not up here. It's down here in the infield, right about there. Be some concrete barriers down there probably. I think that paint probably marks the start finish. Last year we had this big TV right about there. They moved it over into turn 2 now, so drivers can't watch down the straightaway and try and block or whatnot. Although I still think you can probably see it pretty good going down the straightaway. Now we're walking into turn 4, or turn 1. Looks a little more banked than turn 3, I think. Not much, just a little. This track's pretty symmetrical though. Very muddy here. Last year my right rear met this corner about twice, I think. Hopefully we don't do that this year. Probably be running up here later in the week. Well, maybe not, there's a lot of races. Maybe tomorrow. Got the berm down here, is really high directly in front of me, right here, and it gets really small right there. Can probably run off the corner if it stays at that height. A couple more grandstands over here, turn 2. Standing a little in between 1 and 2 right now. You got all grandstands. Got the Jumbotron. Walk down towards the back straightaway a little bit. Now we're about straight with the backstretch. It's a pretty big backstretch. You can get straight for a while, give her some gas before you gotta turn in. Got the stage right there for opening ceremonies. Grader, tiller right there. Here's where you come on and off the track up to the ramp. Coming off's pretty easy. Coming on, gotta make that sharp right hand turn. It's not that easy to do, but make it work. And there you have it, Tulsa Expo Center Raceway. I wanted to take a moment to let you know a little more about the Tulsa Shootout and how the race format works throughout the week. The Tulsa Shootout consists of 6 classes of competition: non-wing, A-class wing, non-wing outlaw, outlaw wing, restrictor, and junior sprint. Many racers will compete in multiple classes, and I myself will be competing in 4 classes at this year's shootout: non-wing, A-class wing, and both outlaw classes. In 3 of the 4 main classes, those being non-wing, A-class wing, and non-wing outlaw, the number of entries typically exceed 400 cars per class. In the outlaw wing class, the entries are usually between 250 and 300, while the restrictor and junior sprint classes are in the 100 to 125 range. Total entries for a 2022 shootout were over 1,700 across about 700 cars. With drivers being able to enter multiple classes with the same car, entries differ from the total car count, but both numbers are enormous. How do they whittle down that many entries into only 6 class champions? Well, that's a great question. Before we can start to answer that, we need to understand the pill draw system and passing points. When each driver checks in at the shootout, they will draw a number for each class that helps determine their starting position in the heat races. Lower numbers typically start at the front of the field, while higher numbers start at the rear of the field. For instance, the driver who draws number 1 will start in the first position of heat number 1, while the driver drawing the highest number will start last in the final heat. The passing point system helps level the playing field between cars that start at the front of the field and cars that start at the rear. It helps to take the luck or perhaps the unluckiness of the draw out of the system. The system awards a driver a set amount of points for the position that they finish the race, and then each driver is awarded 5 bonus points for each position that they advance from their starting position. It also penalizes a driver 1.5 points for each position that they finish behind the position that they originally started in. As you can see from the passing points chart, the starting positions are across the top and the finishing positions are down the side. The base points for each position are in yellow. So if I start 3rd and win a race, I could find 3rd across the top and 1st down the side of the chart. Where they intersect on the chart says 110. I received 100 base points for the first place finish in the yellow box, and 5 bonus points for each position that I advanced, or 10 total bonus points added to the 100, which gives me 110 points. In contrast, if I start 3rd but finish 5th, I'd find 3rd across the top of the page and 5th down the side to see that I received 69 points. The focus of passing points is that you must advance and pass cars to receive the best points you can in each race. It's vitally important to advance, especially at the shootout. Let's look at the race format and you'll see why. For our illustration, let's use a non-wing class and a total entry count of 400 cars to see how the race format works. Remember that those 400 cars need to be pared down to just 24 cars, or 6% of the entries for Saturday night's A main. The 400 cars will be broken down into 40 heat races with 10 cars each. The starting positions will be based on the pill draw that we discussed earlier. After all the heat races are completed, the passing points for each driver will be calculated and ranked largest to smallest. The top 112 out of 400 in passing points will move into a second set of races called qualifiers. There will be 8 qualifier races per class with 14 cars in each race. Everyone else, or the other 288 cars, will be headed to C, D, or E mains and have a serious uphill climb to Saturday's A main event. So as I said earlier, moving forward and maximizing your passing points is very important. If you made it into the qualifier, your goal is the same, but the competition is that much tougher. Move forward if possible and stay up front if that's where you start. The top 32 in passing points after the heats are inverted across the 8 qualifiers, so the top point earner in the heats will start 4th in qualifier 1. So those 32 drivers are rewarded with an opportunity to gain even more bonus passing points if they can move forward. After the qualifiers are complete, the passing points for the 112 drivers in the qualifiers will be added to their heat race points and again ranked highest to lowest. The top 16 in cumulative passing points across the heats and the qualifiers will lock in to Saturday's A main. The remaining 96 drivers will be placed into 8 B mains. The driver finishing 17th in passing points will start on the pole of B main number 1, and so forth until the B mains are filled out. After the qualifiers are completed, we still need 8 more starters into Saturday's A main, and those who aren't locked in have to race their way in through lower main events. Affectionately known as running the soup, drivers are no longer relying on passing points to move forward, but it is a tall task to advance as only 2 drivers from each lower main will transfer into the next race, and they have to start at the back of the next race, so advancing more than one level is not so easy. There will be 8 lower mains at each level in each class, so 8 E mains, 8 D mains, etc. The drivers who gain the fewest points in the heat races will fill out those E mains, then the D's and C's. Again, if you finish in the top 2 in the E main, you transfer then to the back of the D. Once the C mains are completed, the top 2 in each C main will tag the rear of 8 B mains, where they will compete against the drivers who did not lock in to the A main through the qualifiers. Where typically the top 6 or 8 finishers in the B main would transfer to the A, there is yet another step to reduce the field to the additional A main starters. The top 2 in each B main. 16 drivers in total will then transfer to a last chance qualifier. 12 laps in length, the top 8 finishers in the last chance qualifier then earn starting spots 17 through 24 in Saturday's A main event. Well, there you have it. That's how 400 cars will earn the right one of the 24 starting spots in Saturday's A main and race for the Golden Driller in the non-wing class. One-way performance, they're pretty good.
I do like their exhausts.
Yeah, nice and shiny exhaust. Kasner Racing. They're big semi. It's probably the biggest trailer in here. Chris Carroll's really good. He's won a couple of times. Weldon Buford and Jude Allgaier. That's Jude that we race with every week. Yeah, Weldon's teammate that we see every week. Kyle Busch, Brexton Busch. The Sawyer trailer there. Keith Coons right there. The Batterbees. They used to have orange cars. I don't know if you remember. All the D1 cars.
I got stickers on the ground.
Cash money. Oh, geez, those are stickers. I want a sticker on the ground like that. Pretty cool. 33? Oh, the gold one? That's Jet Nunley. He just won the National Restrictor Championship, and then he won the Restrictor race last year.
That's shiny. Like that chrome.
Very cool.
That would look good.
And I wish I had a chrome exhaust like that.
It'd be hard to keep clean.
Oh, I wouldn't keep it clean. That's what Layton's for.
That's not bad. Old tires.
Oh, we got another 72. 72H. Yeah, we're the real 72. Kyle Spence and Alex Bright. Those are cars we kind of went with the white chassis for.
Oh, you went with the white chassis because of that?
Yeah, we saw those and we're like, that looks cool.
I can kind of see the print.
Yeah. There's our car there. At the end of the Hyper trailer. So far we got 2 spots to ourselves. And we got Hyper Row.
See if we can keep that one.
All these Hyper cars. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 12 cars on this side. About 9 of them are all painted the same. 5 of them are number 14.
You know where Maverick's fitted?
Yeah, he was supposed to be right next to us, or we were supposed to be right next to him. And then we moved to Hyper. He got the worst spot, I think, in the whole building. I'm not even kidding. He's got to move 2 cars plus his just to get his car out of his spot in either direction. Oh, yeah. That's why we moved. Milwaukee car is pretty cool. Brady Bacon's cars. Got 6 of his 21 cars. And now we walk down the final row. It is a little cold. Got the FK Shocks trailer and Garrett Benson's big trailer.
Have we scaled yet?
No, we have not scaled. We need to scale. Got the scales right there. We might do that before we leave. I like Ike. For the Ike Honda and Ike family dealerships. Pretty clever. Yeah. Got Jason McDougal's trailer right here all closed up. It's got bright orange chassis so you can see him easily. And now we go down the other side of Hyper Road. Got all of our North Carolina guys pretty much.
Those aren't bad, those 3.
Yeah. I like that car. Harbor Racing cars, pretty good looking car. Eden Wise. Got the Texas Hyper Corner. All the Texas guys here. Lucas Speed Factory. Johnny Bolin. Trevor McIntyre's car way over here. I guess they exiled him again this year. JJ lost his pink cars. No one's here, we should sabotage them. I didn't say that. And that's about it. Just walk down here real quick and then end the video. Got Jace Alvarez, his bright orange chassis.